Hi, Marty Griffin.
Bethany Hallam.
We're actually friends.
People hate that about us.
I just don't care.
I don't either.
I don't think I should have to defend you because you give a damn.
I defend you a lot, Marty.
I don't mind.
I hope you know that. I defend you a lot.
You know, as my friend Popeye always says,
Yeah.
I am what I am.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the dumbest idea the county's ever had. And you carried the water for them on this one.
What?
Because your friend Sarah wouldn't carry the water. A 50% tax increase. We
First-
gonna walk?
Yeah, let's walk. Okay, because first of all, not the dumbest idea the county's ever had.
Yeah, it's right in there.
I think the dumbest idea the county's ever had is to think that you could go over a decade without reassessing property values or increasing taxes incrementally.
By the way, she's right.
Dumbest idea the county's ever had. And you know what?
But that was a decade of that.
A
with a lot of
decade
people
of
with
that.
their fingers in it.
A lot of people, and guess what? Truly, we had no idea how bad it was until Sarah came into the county executive's office, opened up the books, presented it to council, and
She's
said,
starting to shovel.
No, but I'm serious. Listen, you know me, Marty, and we talked about this even when Sarah was running,
We
when
knew
the
there was
county
a
exec
deficit
race
for a
was
decade.
happening. But what we talked about is I'm never going to defend anyone that doesn't deserve it.
Yeah,
right? Hi. I'm never going to defend anybody that doesn't deserve it. And I'm not even presenting this as defending Sarah. What I am defending is the fact that we need to have a tax increase. Does it need to be 2.2 mils? I think we're going to figure that out over the next couple weeks as we're really digging into the books. But we haven't had one
Yeah, but let me say this.
in 13 years.
I sent you a note the other day.
Yeah.
Because we do exchange tax.
Mhm.
And I said, your little massive budget increase is DOA. What did you say?
Right, and I said that's not true.
And it is true.
I don't think that that's true.
No, it's dead.
I do not think that that's true. I think that
There are
folks are gonna-
6 right now who say they're not voting for it.
Sure, and I think that it's very preliminary to say that it's dead because at this moment, at this point in time, we have not yet secured 10 votes. But I also think...
Not for 50%.
Right,
And
but
I'm rounding up. That's not fair. It's
but also,
46.7.
a tax increase is not dead on arrival.
No, that's fair.
A tax increase is 100% going to happen. It has to. I don't want to raise taxes either. I've just looked at the numbers. Again, for my first time since being on council, I've been able to see all the information. It hasn't been hidden. It hasn't been manipulated like we know the former exec did because the court ruled that.
Hold on.
That's important, though, Marty. All of that plays a part.
Here's what I think is grimy.
What?
And ridiculous.
What?
You can't just say, we're going to do this to all of you.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, I don't care where you're at, Allegheny County or Los Angeles County.
Yeah.
What are taxpayers going to do? Screw you, lady. We're not going to pay that, right?
Of course, yeah.
So my point is, I don't think it was presented properly. I don't think it was discussed properly. I don't think the public was prepared properly. Would you think that's fair to say?
I think from a factual perspective, it was presented properly because it was presented accurately. Do I think that maybe it should have been proposed as a higher number so that we could settle for the number we really need?
Do you think
Maybe.
your boss, Sarah's not your boss, do you think she should have done a better job at managing this?
I think it depends if you're looking at this politically or factually, right? Are you trying to say, oh, I don't want anybody to be mad at me because that's how we got?
I'm not mad.
But I'm not talking
I'm
about
talking
you.
about mad.
That's
I'm talking
how-
about how you handle people and say, lady, your taxes are going up 50%, and they're going to say, screw you.
Well, I think that a lot of information is not understood by the people who need to understand it the most, the taxpayers, and I think that's why you and I have conversations to help people understand, because they see this headline, 46% tax increase. And while factually that is correct, talking about what that means in dollars and cents is so much more important than any percentage. And when you break down the numbers, the median household in Allegheny County is going to pay $15 more a month if the 2.2 mil
There aren't any
increase is passed.
$100,000 houses in this county.
Remember,
man.
it's not values, it's assessed value. And we already talked about how we haven't had a reassessment since 2012. So
I don't know anyone with a $100,000 house, lady.
Oh, I do. I know people who, again, assessed value. An assessed house at $110,000 could be worth $500,000 or more today.
Most of the folk, including, this is what happens, including Sarah's,
Well, my house is underassessed.
and so is mine.
Everyone's is.
So my point is, it was handled horribly. Would you not agree?
How would you propose it would have been handled better?
I would suggest the public should have known the dire circumstance we're in, which they didn't. All we got was a text that Corey O'Connor found a $60 million deficit and then was 80.
Well,
That's it.
He was wrong. It was 80, yeah.
Whatever he was,
Sure.
we didn't hear from your boss at all.
I think that that was because they were preparing their budget presentation. And remember, we do not vote on a tax increase on a final budget until the first week of December. So we are still a month and a half away from anything actually happening. What happened was a plan was proposed.
It's dead.
And now it's council's job to go through it and decide what is the millage rate that we need to pass to balance the budget. Because remember, we also don't want county employees going without being paid because we haven't passed the budget.
Yep.
And they're essential workers who have to come in.
Your council president, Pat,
Sure.
said live, this ain't happening. It's
Right.
dead on arrival, and you need to cut.
I love Pat, but he does not speak for all of council.
He
And
is the
he has the
president.
same information that the rest of us have, and we do not yet know where there is waste, where spending needs to be cut. That's what we're going to find out in the budget hearings that start tonight, actually, 5 p.m. in the Gold Room of the courthouse.
Did your boss, I keep saying that,
Who is my boss? Because my
Sarah
boss is the
Morano.
people. The people of Allegheny County hire me and
did
fire
your
me.
friend that you grew up with, Sarah,
Yes.
did she handle this poorly?
I don't think so.
Yes, she did.
I do not think so. I think she's trying to play catch up. She's trying to clean up a mess that she inherited. All of the people that I hear talking badly
Blame
about
everybody
this,
else.
But whose fault is it? She walked in the door on day one. It's more of council's fault than it is Sarah's. Those of us who have been on
So the
council
way
for
she's
years and
handled-
didn't
she's a-
have the information.
She
we
shouldn't
needed.
have any responsibility for managing this, for communicating it, and for asking for a massive tax increase. None of it's on her.
I believe that she did the right thing by asking for a tax increase when she realized that we were going to be over $100 million
Now
in a
it's
deficit.
100. Now it's 100.
Well, it's about 160 is the new revenue that we need to actually balance it. Because remember what happened. No one is blaming the person and the people who started this problem, right?
You know,
We could
everybody
have had-
blames you,
well,
progressives.
People blame us for everything.
Big
Everything that
big
goes
raises
wrong.
in the county.
Where? Where was the big raise in the county?
Well, jumping everybody's salaries.
Everybody's salary did not get jumped.
Well, yeah, they're
Do you know
going up
how
to
few-
$20 an hour.
No. Over years, they are going up to $20
But they're
an
still
hour.
going up. In a time when revenue's down,
First of all, our biggest problem in Allegheny County when it comes to workers is that we're paying excessive amounts of overtime. We are contracting out the overwhelming majority of the staff that we need and costing us so much more money. Nobody wants the jail to close down, except
so
maybe
you
me.
think that-
Nobody wants the
you-
canes to shut down.
You think
We
everybody's
need
going to
staff.
say, you know what, Bethany's right, I'll pay more taxes? Because there's no way
I
that...
think that I was elected to do a job to make hard decisions that not everybody has the same information and the same capabilities to make. I think that I accept that that job is hard, and that even though I don't want anybody to pay more taxes, I realize that there is not enough waste in the county budget to be cut, that there needs to be no tax increase at all. What should have happened, and what all the municipalities in Allegheny County have done since 2011, what all the school districts in Allegheny County have done since 2011, what our neighboring counties have done since 2011, is raise taxes incrementally every few years.
But not 46%.
You wouldn't have had to raise it 46% if we would have raised them a little tiny bit, a few 0.5 mils every 3 years.
Wah.
I mean, it doesn't
It's
matter.
always everybody else's fault.
It's our fault. It is our fault
Okay.
that we did not raise taxes 3 years ago, and 3 years before that, and 3 years before that. It's our fault. It's the previous executive's fault. It's the county council's fault. It's everybody who was in a position of power did not raise the taxes incrementally as they should have. And
Do
so
you
guess what
think
happened? Is it adds
with
up.
all these Democrats on county council, you'd think you'd be able to get 10 votes and you can't?
Why do you think that Democrats are in favor of taxes and Republicans are against it?
But the Democrats aren't.
But that's
I've
what I
had
mean.
several on my show, Democrats.
It is a
saying the hell
bipartisan
with
issue
these-
being against taxes.
Oh, you're saying so it's just you and Sarah that thinks it's a great idea to raise taxes by 50%.
I think that anybody that logs online and looks at the county budget and sees that we've been operating at a deficit for the past 3-4 years, balancing the budget
Then you
with
have to cut.
COVID funds that run
Then you
out.
have to cut.
But what do you want to cut?
Lay people off.
Shut down the jail?
No.
Defund the police?
Lay people
Shut
off.
down the cane hospitals?
No.
And when you lay people
Take
off,
away take-home cars.
who provides?
Don't allow people to have those raises.
Who provide? And then do people work here?
They
No, they do not. We need to be competitive with the private sector. That is the reality. We are already
It's never been that
hemorrhaging
way.
staff.
It's never been that
People
way.
are leaving left and right. And guess what? That's why there are problems, and that costs more money. Just like depleting the rainy day fund leaves us in a position with something that people don't even consider, and that's when our bond rating sucks, we pay more money in interest.
Tell
to
the
fix
people out there
bridges
that don't
and
have
roads.
$10
Yeah.
yet $1,000. Tell them, the woman that called my show crying,
Yeah.
saying she could actually get kicked out of her house. And Pat Catena agrees. He had 400 emails, not
Yeah.
one in favor of this tax increase.
I got at least one in favor of it, but people don't usually reach
Who
out
was
to
that?
say raise my
Who was
taxes.
that, your boyfriend?
A county employee.
Manny.
Yeah, a county employee. But it was somebody who said, listen, I understand. I just had lunch with a woman today who told me, I don't mind paying my fair share. I recognize that we have not paid our fair share for over a decade now. Rational people,
Please.
I think, understand that we should all be paying our fair share. I've had a lot of people say, don't raise my taxes, reassess. The same people who, when we
Takes 8
started
years.
talking about, right.
Takes 8 years.
Well, not 8 years.
8.
No, it doesn't take 8 years.
The shortest it would take is 5.
No, that's not true. I
Yeah,
would
it
say
is.
closer to 2, 3, 4.
Okay,
in that
because the
range.
last one took 7.
Okay, but that was also a long time ago with a
I'm just
different
telling you.
administration. Yeah, and we've seen what other counties have done. We've seen what it looks like to do a reassessment. I know that the administration is talking to a lot of folks about it. I proposed a bill to do regular reassessments so that this is never a situation we get into ever again. But my point is that the same people who are saying, don't raise my taxes, do a reassessment, 3 months ago were sending emails saying, don't reassess. And it's like, okay, we need to do both. It's something that needs to happen, but it is not something, a reassessment doesn't solve this problem. It costs a lot of money, first of all, to do a reassessment,
Hold
tens
on.
of millions
How
of dollars.
about this? That if Sarah keeps pushing 50%, she's one and done. This is it. Gone. Her only term in power.
What do you propose as the
This
counter
becomes
solution?
her Dan on auto drink tax, which is why he wasn't governor.
Okay, but remember, since you mentioned Dan Honorato, what did Dan Honorato do on his way out the door?
Well, they passed the drink tax.
He raised the millage rate to set Fitzgerald up so that he would not have to when he
Raised
first
it
got
by
into office.
like-
Did that happen?
Raised it by like 1/10 of this crap.
But why was that? Because it had been raised recently, not
And he had the
14
drink tax.
years
And he
prior.
isn't governor as a result.
You can say that that's the reason, sure.
would
But what
say.
I'm saying is, during the last
I'm
transition
asking you
of
a
power,
simple question.
Yeah.
If she sticks to this 47%, she's done.
I don't know that I agree with that.
Yes, you do.
I don't think that a tax increase is what gets
That
people
large. It sure does.
I-
And hold on. Here's the game you're playing.
What?
You start out with 50% and then hope for 20.
What, me?
All of you.
Oh, I mean, I did not propose the number that was proposed. I am happy
What do you
with
propose?
whatever I don't know. Whatever it helps to balance the budget. We have to balance the budget. By law, we are required to do that. There has not been a reassessment since 2012. Even when that one happened, that was
She's right.
court ordered. There has not been a millage increase since 2011.
Right again.
If anyone can find me another jurisdiction that has not had a reassessment or a tax increase since 2011, I would love to see it. Because again, all the school districts have, all the municipalities have, all the counties have. The reason we are screwed right now, the reason we are at an $80 million deficit this year alone, the reason next year without a tax increase, we will be at a nearly $160 million deficit
Actually, 3
is
years.
because nothing has happened since 2011. Complete inaction.
So you have to reach some numbers.
We have to reach some number. If 2.2 is not the number, I will vote with the majority of my
Nice.
colleagues to
Okay.
support whatever it takes to get us where we need to be to
You
balance
will
the
actually
budget.
vote with a big group of people. You won't be
That
the pain in
happens
the
sometimes,
ass.
Marty.
So hold on. Why are you carrying Sarah's water on this one?
I'm not. I'm the only one that I feel like is talking
Hold
to
on.
whoever asked
Which
about
means
this.
you're carrying the water.
I don't feel
Where's
like that's
she
what
at?
I'm doing. This is my job.
Where's
we
she
have
at?
2 different jobs. We both represent the whole entire county. And it is both of our jobs to do this. Whatever her approach is, that's on her.
Her approach is just ignore requests for interviews
That's
and
just because she
comment.
doesn't want to talk to you. She doesn't like talking to you.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think I'm the only one who enjoys it.
No, I have
really
actually
do.
a lot of guests on my show.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
I
Democrats,
saw
a lot
who
of
did you just have
Republicans.
the other day, the governor?
I did.
I saw that.
Yeah, we're friends
I
actually.
saw that.
So I think that she's afraid to answer tough questions.
Did you ask the governor why he hasn't pushed for legislation to make regular reassessments the law in Pennsylvania? We're the only state where that's not required regularly.
Back to your friend.
All of these things tie into the questions
Back
you're
to your
asking.
friend. Why are you carrying the water?
I'm doing my job. It would
Right.
be irresponsible
I'm
and
a
a
fan.
dereliction of duties if I did not talk about the reality of the situation. I'm not hiding anything.
I get it.
I am presenting it all as facts.
Right.
And I think that's my job. Do you not agree?
No, I think it's fair.
And so whether anybody else wants to do that, that's okay. If they want to come and say this is dead on arrival without presenting a solution, that's on them. I think that's irresponsible.
yeah.
We know that we have to do something. There has been no action in over a decade.
Something has to happen.
Something has to happen.
yeah.
Again, if it's 2.2 or 1.5 or 0.75, whatever gets us to balance our budget without laying off people who have families to feed,
Right,
who
right.
have bills to pay,
Right.
without cutting services that keep people alive and keep people housed.
Right.
Nobody wants to see tents on the street, but yet they don't want to house people either. Nobody wants to see folks losing their jobs, but yet they don't want to fund a budget that allows people to have jobs. So there is a disconnect between what people say they want and what people actually advocate for. I don't think there's any disconnect between what I say and what I do.
I agree.
And I think that that's important, and I wish that everyone was like that. But my job is to make hard decisions, and I'm okay with doing that. I would not have run for office if I didn't.
I love the mature, right to the point, honest Bethany Hallam.
I think it's important.
I don't like the giving the finger to a camera, ridiculous, obnoxious singing karaoke stuff, Bethany Hallam.
Marty, I really don't care if you don't like me singing karaoke. I really do not
No,
care
hold
at all
on.
because I'm good at it.
Hold
I'm
on.
a performer.
I'm making a point.
I get your point, and I think that it's
Because, hold on.
disingenuous to say that I can't do what regular people do.
Regular people aren't politicians who try to get the majority of people to agree with her. So hold on, let me make my point. With her, very intelligent.
Thank
right?
you.
Tested pretty high when you were young, right?
It was a long time ago.
But
Marty.
it's true, isn't it?
You always bring that up.
Hold
yeah.
on, it's true, isn't it?
It is true.
But what happens in this town, and you
Yeah.
know this is true, is they think you're a clown.
Of course.
And some of them think you're an idiot and a moron because you do things that some people think are stupid.
Sure.
My point is, why not just be this? Engaging, intelligent, to the point.
Because it's nice when I don't have to work all the time, right? My job has no set hours.
Okay, but don't make it a
I have
viral
fun.
internet stupid thing that damages your ability to make this intelligent point.
I disagree that me having fun when I'm out with my friends or out with my family or on vacation should take away from any of the work that I do.
Just don't put it on social media. I do stupid things
Well, I
all the
want you to see
time.
how good I look when I'm out to dinner or this new outfit I got or how much fun I'm having with
The
my
outfit's
friends.
fine, and I'm not judging you. I'm telling you how you're
You
judged.
are judging me. That is the definition.
Please.
But it's okay.
You know I don't judge you.
I judge you. You judge me.
The
It's
public
okay.
judges you, and you need the public to
Sure.
support these sorts of things. That's all I'm saying.
Sure, but me not having fun and me not posting myself singing karaoke or flicking you off or flicking a camera off is not going to change the public's mind about a tax increase.
It does.
It does not. It does not. Because guess what? It would be helpful if my colleagues who also saw the same information that I've seen would be honest and
True.
say, we need a tax increase. And
True.
guess what? They might not be posting the same things I do. They're probably not having a fraction of the fun that I have when I am out, right?
Yeah.
But they would not be treated any differently if they said it than if I said it. The reality is we have to advocate for tough things to happen.
They connect the dots on what would be considered to be the flamboyant things you do and
No.
make you and classify you as an idiot. So when you say these things, they think that's that idiot.
So then what I should start advocating for, you're saying, is no tax rates and fill up the jail because then people will not take me seriously and want the opposite? No,
No.
you know that's not true. Your point isn't right.
No, you get respect when you earn it.
Sure.
So don't act silly.
I disagree that those two things are mutually exclusive.
Well, then you're wrong, though.
I think that people's perception of me can be one thing, the work that I do behind the scenes that people don't see. I don't take a picture every time I go to an event. I don't take a picture with every person that I help on the street
Right.
or help with a constituent issue that they have. I don't post videos every day when I'm out doing the
You
work
don't.
I do.
You don't.
Because I don't need to be flamboyant about the work that I do. I like
Let me say this, though.
What?
Since we've had these conversations, I haven't seen as much of that.
That's because you yelled at me. Why are you acting like this is a conversation we had? You yelled at me.
But we're friends.
We are friends.
And you
Sure.
listen
And
to me.
I unfortunately do respect your opinion.
That's not unfortunate.
It is unfortunate for me, but I do respect your opinion, and I do respect that you have a different perspective than me on things. But you know that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing all the things
But
that
what
I
I'm
do.
saying is that you do agree that my platform makes a difference.
Oh, I've seen the people that you've helped.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I've seen how excited people get when they see you because they know you. I
So
told
my
you.
point is you
remember
could
that
do-
guy under the bridge?
Right.
He asks about you every single week.
See?
Every single week, he's like, "Oh, you better call Marty up. They're jagging me around at the hospital." He wanted you to go up to Mercy Hospital and fight for him.
And we want to ask people on the streets if they are cool with a 50% tax increase.
Do
'Cause you
we
know what
have
they're
to
gonna
present it
say.
that way?
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
messaging is so important, Marty. Can I ask the people watching
course.
to do something? Okay, I would like everyone to go online, go to the Allegheny County Real Estate Portal, type in your address.
Yeah.
Look what your house is assessed
Assessed
at.
at.
Not Zillow. Zillow tells you what you could sell it for.
She's right.
That number is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5 times what it's assessed at. Okay.
Yeah, she's right.
Go online, look up your assessed rate. I'm going to guarantee you it is monumentally lower than you think it is.
Sure.
Again, I know mine is. I'm sure yours is.
Well, to that point, so here's what happens. You go to a house and the assessed value is 220 grand.
Right.
But the price is 750,000. So
Right.
you say to the guy, and this actually happened to me.
Yeah.
Hey, you know your house is assessed at 250 grand. He says, screw you.
Right. Well,
Right?
because everybody knows the assessed value is a joke because we don't do regular reassessments here. And that's a problem that I have legislation to try to fix. But again, I want people to go to the real estate portal, type in your address, look up how much your house is assessed at. The median home price in Allegheny County is $110,000. That's the assessed
Yeah.
value.
She's right.
If that is where your assessed value is, your taxes with this current proposal will be $15 extra a month. And I know that's not nothing. I do not say that that is nothing. My bank account's pretty empty at the end of each month.
You said you would support something much lower.
Absolutely. As long as it does not come with cuts to the things that we know people are relying on. If there is excess somewhere, I want to see it. Truly, I am looking for it right now. I have put that call out to folks to say, especially my colleagues who say that there's excess to be cut. We have 3 budget hearings coming up, right? The first one's tonight at 5 o'clock. I'm going to ask 3 questions of every single department that comes in front of us.
Nice.
What comes in front of us is the authorities, CCAC, PRT, all the different row officers, and the county manager to present the whole operating budget. I have 3 questions for every single one of them. And so if they're watching, they can get a heads up so they're not surprised tonight. First of all, I want to know if the amount that is in the proposed budget is the full amount that they asked for. Because I guarantee you, most of these departments actually needed more money than they were given. That this budget that was proposed isn't an excess spending spree. We can tell by the differences between last year and this year. Next question is, where is the waste in your budget? And again, all of the directors, the controller, the treasurer, the sheriff, the district attorney, the county manager, they're all going to be there. Please show me where this excess waste is. Where is the excess spending? Where is the waste? Where could we cut your budget? Because if you're saying we don't need to raise taxes, then I'm sure it's not your department that you want to see a cut in.
True.
And my third question is going to be, if you had more funds available to you, what services would you be able to provide to the taxpayers? Because people don't want to see taxes raised, but they don't want to see homelessness. People don't want to see taxes raised, but they don't want to lose police officers. People don't want to see taxes raised, but they don't want to see their bridges in disrepair, potholes in their road. That's what taxes pay for. Important services. So I'll have more information after these hearings to find out where is this excess spending, but I'm going to bet that there's not as much excess as the people who are against the tax increase see.
On all this?
You're my boss, Marty. Where are you on all of this?
Thank you for doing this.
Where are you on, honestly, what do you think about tax increase?
I think it has to be fair and reasonable, and I think you handle it horribly. Not you. I think the county handled it horribly.
But you agree that a tax increase has to happen?
I agree that we should have been told a year ago, this train's coming on the tracks and you guys better get ready for this train, and then laid it out for the public. Your boss.
Your boss was here a year ago, Rich Fitzgerald.
He's never been my boss.
Did he?
He's never been my boss.
Some would dispute that. Some would dispute that.
Whatever.
But what I'm saying is we could have prepared for this if we would have known. If money wasn't being hidden.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
It is a lie.
That is not a lie. Do you remember in the last budget when one of my colleagues refused the vote to pass the budget?
Nobody hid $80 million in debt.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Because they were taking money from the rainy day fund, which council does not see the balance of. This is the first year I've never known how much money was in there.
All right.
We did not
We're
see
rambling
the
now.
COVID funds. This is not rambling. This is important that we call the blame. If you want to blame someone, and I know it's easy to blame Sarah. She's young. She's a progressive.
No.
It's her first year in office.
I'm not blaming her. She doesn't do interviews.
You blamed her a lot.
She doesn't carry the water on.
I don't think that it's carrying the water to talk about facts. Does she get no credit for opening the books and saying, look, we are in a crisis?
No, she doesn't.
Why?
Because it's obvious.
It wasn't obvious.
We know the deficit.
If it was obvious and you knew there was a deficit for the past 3-4 years, why weren't you calling for a tax increase then? So
why
you
are
didn't need
you
as big
here
of
and
a
she's
one-out?
not here?
Because I like you.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
I can't make her like you. You
Good
make
luck.
it really hard, Marty.
I don't need her to like me. I'm all right.
I'm enough?
Like my friend Popeye says, I am what I am. Thank you.
Anytime, Marty.
We're going to stay on top of this. I think it's important. I appreciate your honesty.
Always.
Thank you, folks.
I was about to start fist fighting him on there, you know?
Please.